millions of dollars.
What was the difficult thing? Was it being on tour all that time while all this was going on, that you couldn't handle it on a 24-hour day-to-day basis, you know, that you were away all the time?
The most difficult thing about, and I'm sure I can speak for just about any artist who blows up like almost overnight, I'm sure I can speak for Kid Rock, from Britney Spears to NSYNC to everybody, no matter what type of music that you do. The hardest part is in the beginning. It's when your music starts taking off and your career starts going full-fledged, you don't know what's happening. It's happening so fast that people are grabbing you here and there and they're telling you, you know what I mean? They're pulling you here. You got this interview to do. You got this interview. You got to do this press. You got to do this photo shoot. You got to do this show. You got to do all this shit. Da 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 da. And it's really easy. It's so easy to get caught up in this game and become addicted to drugs, become an alcoholic, make your life go completely out of control. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because shit happens so fast. You're seeing so many different people around you, so many different faces. Everybody's got a new face. Sure. Yeah. And so many people around you, you don't know what the fuck is going on. And that's for anybody who gets in this game, this entertainment business, what I mean by game, and just and blows up and becomes a success in it. The hardest part is the first year, at least. So for that first year, I mean, speaking for myself, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. It just seemed like a blur to me. When I look back on it, I'm just like, you know, like, wow, that's some crazy shit. There's shit that I see now that, you know, myself on TV a year ago, year and a half ago, that I'm like, I don't even remember doing that interview. If you can get through the beginning stages, man, you're cool. Yeah. You'll be all right. But
wouldn't it be a help if it hadn't been so incredibly overnight, which it was with you? I mean, that you could ease into it. Maybe by album number 5 it became overnight.
Right. Then that might have been a little bit easier.
You can't have everything, so don't do that.
Yeah, but you can't. So the best thing to do is just grab your bottle of Bacardi and just swig it. And just take the world on, I guess. You know?
I mean, like, in one way you were just a normal guy for 24 years. So the last 4 years, this is good, though. It has been good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good. It's been, I mean, I can't complain. Yeah. I'm where I'm at. I guess I'm doing what I always dreamed of. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't complain too much. I've got some things that I wish I could have done over or did better, you know, like I said, personally or whatever, but you know, other than that, I can't complain, man. I'm living what I always dreamed about. I'm actually living more than what I actually ever could have dreamed.
But which scares you most about the future? Is it the threat of jail, or is it the threat of not seeing Haley, which is your kid, because of maybe going to jail?
Yeah, that would be the most, that would be the hardest thing. It's not to go into jail. It would be not being able to see.
So is it important to you that you make sure that you never in your life cut her out like your dad cut you out? Did you learn big time from that? Just one lesson to learn.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why so many things have happened between Kim and I, and we always seem to try to get it back together. And that's just for one of the reasons that I work so hard at that, is just because, you know, I never knew my father, and I want her to know hers, you know.
Well, and do you want her, therefore, to have a better childhood than you had, and also to go as far as, say, going to college?
Well, yeah, I've said that many times, and I mean, of course I do. Any father would want that, and I'm giving her a better life already than I've got.
If somebody does wrong to you, are you a spiteful kind of guy? Like, do you get adrenaline out of vengeance?
Yep. Yeah, I do. I gotta be honest.
Are you annoyed about the fact that the bigger the success you've had, the more it's hurt your family in some ways? Or there's just, hey, goes with the territory, that's just who I am? These albums are honest, hard look.
That's a hard question to answer. Am I annoyed at the fact?
Well, you know, like, the more success you've had, the more it seems to have hurt your family in some ways. But this is who you are. This is what you've done. Like, right. It's like you gotta, like always with anything, you gotta take the good with the bad, you know? You might... I understand that the level of success that I'm at doesn't happen to everybody every day, but, like, you know, there's new problems you're gonna have with everything. If it wasn't my success and I was still
trying to look for a job or working a dead-end job and didn't have no money to eat with, it would be those kind of problems that I would have, those type of family problems. How are we going to feed Haley? How are we going to raise her? How are we going to stay together? How are we going to pay our rent? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So it would be, so now it's new problems. It's like, money's not the problem. Now it's different things.
Of course.
Other people interfering in our lives and our business and shit like that. So you got to take the good with the bad. I mean, at the end of the day, man, all these sacrifices that I'm making are for Haley.
Right.
You know?
Okay, but like the people that you mocked in your records that kind of turned against you, you seem to be surprised at one stage about that. I would have thought like that, you know, can't be surprised at that. This is the way it's going to happen, especially if the album starts selling 10 million each or whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
You mean like family?
Yeah, family in particular. I mean, did you ever feel now, if you look back on it, you'd probably push it a bit too far and you might just change it if you could turn the clock back? Possibly.
It depends on which family you're talking about. If you're talking about like my immediate family, my family, I consider my family my little girl and my wife and my little brother and my niece. And that's my family that I don't talk about a lot, my little brother and my niece. I don't talk about them a lot, but that's my immediate family. The rest of my family is, and I do have an aunt that I do care about a lot too, my Aunt Betty. The rest of my family is, I shut them out. I block them out because everybody's got something to say. See, what happened in my family is nobody graduated from high school. There might have been one or two. I don't think any of my aunts and uncles graduated from high school. I don't think any of my immediate family, like as far as relatives, like uncles and aunts and grandmothers and grandfathers and shit like that, graduated from high school. Nobody in my family really became anything, did anything with themselves. Everybody, grew up to be on welfare or grew up to live, low-income housing and shit like that. So nobody really became anything, and which was where I was headed too.
Sure.
But as soon as I became something, it's kind of like a broke family and somebody in the family hits a lottery. Now everybody comes around, they want something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's gonna happen with anybody, but especially my family. If you knew my family and some of the things that I really go through personally when I get home, it's crazy.
If your life has been bullying, and like I know you were in a coma for about 9 days at one stage when you were about 10 years of age or whatever, and brawls and suicide and murder and homophobia and misogyny and all this, hey, deal with it. This is what I am, this is what I lived with, this is what my albums are. Is that the way you see it? Like, don't get so hung up on the whole thing.
I'm just like, if you don't like what I do, don't look at me. If you don't like my records, don't buy them. That's it. Yeah. Change your channel. Okay. Change the radio station.
But the thing about the whole, the homophobia is one that's mentioned a lot. So do you find that, like, for instance, that first of all, people don't understand the usage that you might have and the people that you know might have of the word faggot, and it's not nearly as put down as some people seem to think it is?
I've explained that word so many times. I've explained what I've meant by that word so many times that it got to a point where that's why I made the song Criminal and said what I said in it. Yeah. It's because gay people were pissing me off. They were really pissing me off because they were looking at it like I was just going straight for their throat when I wasn't, because I kept finding myself defending myself in interviews like, homophobic, what are they talking about? I don't care about gay people. Whatever, that's their business. But people kept saying it and egging me on. You egg me on, I'm gonna say it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, well then finally, do you think rap is just always going to annoy some people? For instance, there's been in an American chart there of the top 20 albums on sale in America in December, 7 or 8 were rap albums. All of them had parental advisory stickers. It's just, again, that's the way it is.
It's just music, it's just entertainment. How many rated R movies come out?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's all it is. It's a rated R movie on wax.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Anna. Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, man.
Come on, thanks.